So today's a bit of a weird one. I ended the last episode saying we'd probably be back for the playoffs because, we were 4 points behind South Shields at the top of the table. Not really much chance of catching them. They've been pretty unstoppable all season. 7 points ahead of the chasing pack below us. Unlikely to change at that point. But we're back a little bit sooner than expected. Why exactly? There's going to be no spoilers here. We're just going to have to get into it. So, as I said, we are back a hell of a lot sooner than I thought we would be. I thought we might be coming back for the last game in the season or so, but things have taken a turn, and I feel like the next game might be worth doing. But in the meantime, we've had 2 very good results. We've played 2 games since you were last here, and both have ended in 2-0 victories. First up, we played against Stafford Rangers. This game got off to a crazy start. Straight from kick-off, the ball comes to Paul Smith. He puts a long ball in. The keeper comes out for it, but the defender clears it out to the far side, straight to Agbenone, who slots it into the net 14 seconds into the match. Absolutely incredible start. But then it took to the second half till we added another one, another Paul Smith long ball. Backwell got to the end of it and managed to rocket it into the far bottom corner, securing us to 3 points. And then we followed that up with, as I said, another 2-0 victory. This one was a little bit unfortunate because Marcel and Agbenone both picked up injuries which will effectively keep them out for the rest of the season. They might be back for playoffs, I think, if we end up in the playoffs. But we'll have to keep an eye on that. So it means that our winger solution of bringing Marcel in has now gone from being a solution to now being completely destroyed because now Marcel and Agbenone are out, which means that Birchall, Waldo and potentially Bates are our only wing options now for the rest of the season, which is not ideal, obviously. But yeah, this game we were very dominant indeed. It felt like they didn't really create a whole lot. But it did take us until the 74th minute for a breakthrough where Backwell just carried on running, no one intercepted him, he gets it to Yeboah who scores at the second attempt. Before Backwell goes on yet another run. It's not the fastest Backwell, but it just seems like no one likes closing him down. This time he gets into Birchall who cannons it into the top corner from just inside the penalty area and secured us 3 points here as well. In the meantime, South Shields have not had a good time. They've played 2 of their easier fixtures they had for the rest of the season and drawn 1-1 against both Nuneaton Town and Spennymoor Town, which means we are now even on points with them with 4 games remaining. And if we have a look at the news item that just came through, their remaining games are 4th, 3rd, 9th and 24th, and we've got 24th, 11th, 21st, 12th, so we've got a considerably easier running. Although the one that scares me out of this list is Warrington, because I think they've already beaten us this season. Yep, they beat us 2-0 earlier in the season, and they also beat South Shields when they played them. So they're one of those teams that are, mid-table but seem to be incredibly hard to beat. But other than the fact that obviously they've got a 3 better goal difference than us, 45 compared to 42, I would say the momentum for this promotion push has very much switched into our hands with them having such hard games coming up, especially the next 2 matches against Kings Lynn and Chester, who we took on both of them in the last episode. They're both still hotly contesting that 3rd place playoff and the bye through the first playoff round. So they've got a lot to play for, and hopefully they bring their A game to those matches. In the meantime, we're going to be doing the Buxton game today, which, if results go the right way, could potentially put them down if we win, because there's going to be 3 games left and they're currently 8 points behind safety. So if the safety mark moves up to like 43, they're essentially down, but 44 would be guaranteed. And then depending on how the rest of the season goes, I think I might have to take it 1 game at a time. But if all's going well, we'll be back for a game where we've got a chance of winning a title. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to get into first place first, I suppose. And we've got 2 games until the Buxton game, so let's go forward and we'll get into that. So actually, due to our winger issue, we are going to be trying a slightly different formation, a bit of a throwback to a previous season. And we're going to be going with the 2 up front, Birch out on the left. And I'm playing Paul Smith as a defensive wide midfielder on the right. I'm not sure, actually, I'm going to switch him to support. That might make a bit more sense with Tanadre on attacking behind him. But Paul Smith actually can play all the way up the wing. He's just not really got the stats for it. But I just think, someone who is very capable in that position makes sense to just bring him back a slot, pop someone else up front, and we can just be a bit more solid in defence. Although the thing that does worry me is I think we're pretty solid down the right-hand side. But down the left-hand side, Bates is both our worst defender we've got on the pitch and the only person on this side. But fortunately, we're just kind of struggling for players. I mean, Zach Mitchell is available, but he's not in a great condition. We've got Joe Maguire, who's available, but he's just pretty bad, to be honest. and, really low morale. I just don't think it's going to end up working out for us. So we're going to try our old lopsided formation, like sort of an asymmetrical 4-4-2, I suppose, or is it a fourth? It says 4-3-3, but I think that might just be that I've named it like that at some point. I don't know. But either way, we're going to jump into the game. We've got Jackson at the back, Bates, Hamblin, Shepherd, and Sonadre across defence, Ratchford, Archer, and Smith in midfield, Birchall out on the left wing, and Yeboah and Backwell up front. So we're going to give this a shot. I probably normally wouldn't have experimented this much, but we are playing against bottom in the league, and they've not been terrible. They've won 9 games this season. It's still competitive. It's not like we've got someone who is 30 points behind everyone else in the league. But I am confident that we're going to be able to win this. I mean, it even says at the bottom, Buxton are among the most goal-shy teams in the Vanarama National League North, scoring just 45 times in 42 matches. I mean, that's still averaging a goal a game, which is better than some of the teams in this league. But I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem dealing with them. I really hope I don't live to regret those words. Let's get into the match. Okay, team talk wise, we're just going to go with the standard. Medias give you a lot of credit. Trish just made a difference. Trish just made a difference. Okay, got rid of that complacency over there from Paul Smith. Just completely messed up his name. So we're in our weird old formation. Not really a classic, but it works out. And they are playing a 5-3-2. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. But hopefully we can still break it down. We're starting off in the 4th minute with a Sonadre free kick. Chips it over towards Backwell. Controls it lovely. And he managed to score. There we go. That has settled so many nerves straight off the bat there. 1-0 after 4 minutes. Their defence just did nothing. I mean, the goal wasn't even looking at Backwell. He just controls it perfectly and pops it past the keeper. Keep an eye, because I'm very interested in seeing what happens in the South Shields Kings Lynn game today. Because obviously... Oh no, because I saw everything change and I thought we'd just gone top because they were losing, but it's just because we were winning already. Archer gets it to Yeboah. A long ball over to Backwell again. And he's gone around the keeper. And the defender just got a toe to it and managed to knock it wide. That was a fantastic touch from that defender. We've got Ratchford with a corner. It gets headed away. Nothing else comes of it. Then with a long ball over, Sonadre collects. Now Bates is looking to go up the left wing to Birchall. Another lovely ball over to Yeboah. Can he square that to Backwell? Oh, he goes for the Rabona, and it's off the inside of the post. That was absolutely nuts. What the hell? This team does not have the skill to be pulling off that sort of thing, and it nearly works out beautifully. Hamblin, Ratchford, Birchall, Yeboah, another ball through. Backwell, Ratchford, this is just silky stuff. Apart from that finish, that inside of that post is doing us here. That's twice in a row we've hit the exact same spot on the exact same post. Okay, we've got a free kick just outside the box with Bates. Is he going to shoot this, or is it? He does. And it nearly goes in. Oh, it hits the bar. I thought the keeper saved it, but no. Buxton on the attack. Bates managed to shepherd it back to Jackson. That's what we like to see. Long ball over the defence by any chance. He tries it, doesn't quite work out, but Birchall collects the ball very temporarily, but wins it back. Now Ratchford gets it through to Yeboah, and their keeper's actually not playing badly today. I'm saying that, I think that might be the first save he's made. We're just not very clinical, it seems. Right now Ratchford with a a corner. I say that everything apart from the right term every single time. We end up with a throw-in by their corner. Or by their goal, I don't know. Let's just start throwing out random words. I'll probably have a better accuracy rating. Now Cook with a long goal kick. Sonadre heads it back to Backwell. Smith gets its Archer down the wing, but I think that's going to be a bit too much on it. And Digley gets it up to Shepherd. Absolutely have it. Archer, Backwell. Yeboah gets it to Backwell, but we can't make anything from it. There's so much pressure, and just so little result. Yeboah tried to get it into Backwell, but it didn't work out. Now Bates coming forward again. He's going to shoot, and it goes over. You are not here to shoot. You should not be shooting from there. Kings Lynn are beating South Shields. That is amazing. Birchall now. That's a Backwell. Smith looks to put a pass into Yeboah, and he puts it over, but that was offside. This has been a ridiculously dominant half. And also incredibly frustrating that it's only 1-0. I feel like we're about to get FM'd in this game. and they're going to get some 95th minute equaliser or something. Okay, their defence managed to get the ball away to Park, and now Bonner's looking to go down their right wing. But you can't catch him. Turns back. Hay puts a ball up. Hamlin gets its arch out. Another lovely ball over to Backwell. To Yeboah. That's a penalty. That's got to be a penalty. That is a penalty. He was about to shoot and just got took out. Now we've got Hamlin looking to put us 2-0 up, and it gets saved, and he scores the rebound. Thank God for that. Jesus Christ. My heart was in my ass then. Oh my God. That is not a fantastic penalty, but it was hit with quite a bit of force. But he does manage to react quickest, so it's okay. Kingsley and Town have just gone 2-0 up against South Shields. Their season is falling apart at the end. They have absolutely arsenaled it. We've got Smith down the right wing. He gets it to Archer, and we've scored another one. Archer with a fantastic finish at the near post, just at the dying moments of the first half. A lovely ball over there from Ratchford. Paul Smith gets on the end of it, puts it into Archer. First time finish, volleyed past Crook in goal. Absolutely fantastic. And it's half time. We're at 3.29 XG to their 0.17, and this is going very well indeed. Suddenly, I was so scared for all of this pressure here. And then as soon as we got that second goal, all of my worries and fears have gone. You're doing fantastic, lads. Keep it up. Do we need to make any changes? It is Phil Smith. I thought it was Phil Smith, and then I started correcting myself saying Paul Smith. Oh, not my finest moment. Jack Bates has not had the brilliant game, but I don't think I need to take him off. I'm going to take Archer off and bring Wadham on, maybe. No, you know what? I'm going to give it a little bit longer just because all these are complacent. I don't really understand why. But Archer has been doing very well out in this right wing. You know, whenever Phil Smith, not Paul Smith, his brother, whenever Phil Smith's not been going forward because he's only a wide midfielder on support, Archer's been picking up the slack. And we've had very good coverage, to be honest. I mean, I am thrilled with how we've been playing this game, even if we could have been a little more clinical. Okay, a quiet start to the second half. We're 15 minutes into it and there's been nothing happened so far. Go back to, pay attention to our match for a little bit. South Shields are not having a good time, so I'm just going to hope it stays that way. There's been no highlights at all in the second half, and I'm not going to make any changes to try and make any. We've only got 10 minutes left. Has this been a completely dead second half? No, it hasn't. Hamblin with a ball over, but it goes to absolutely nobody. And the goalkeeper collects it without issue. A Crook with a long ball over, and they look to be one-on-one. And Marty's gone straight past Jackson. What the fuck happened there? What happened? Jackson, I need to slow this down a little bit. Long ball over. Jackson comes out, misses the challenge. There's a lovely block from Hamblin, but it does fall to Deanley, who puts it in. And now I'm just going to move us back to balanced, just to try and make sure we do see out the rest of this game. Let's make a few subs, because we have definitely got some tired legs out there. Archer can come off for Wadham. Move him to a ball-winning midfielder on defend, just to try and definitely break up anything. We'll bring Zach Mitchell in for Shepherd. And actually, Maguire can come off for Bates. We'll just completely shore up our back line. Lots of fresh legs on. And it looks like we're seeing the game out. South Shields have managed to get 2 goals, including a 95th minute equaliser against Kings Lynn. So this is not as stupidly comfortable as it could have been. But a 3-1 victory. They've dropped points as far as we're aware at the very least. But I am delighted with that performance. That second half was tragic, I'm not going to lie. Look at the absolute mountain of XG in that first half. And then it just plateaus completely in the second half. Nothing happens. Kind of ridiculous. But either way, well done, lads. That was a very good win. And to confirm, with just 3 games left of the season, we have managed to move into first place for the first time this season, actually. I was just looking at the league positions throughout the season. I mean, we started off in 22nd down here after the first game, but we hit 3rd, 2nd, drop back down, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and then it's 3rd all the way until we move into 2nd, and we stayed there all the way until now. So with 3 games left of the season, we've finally moved into the driving seat for the league, let's say. We have won the most games in the league by a considerable distance, like 28 wins, Even South Shields, who have been dominant all season, have only been on 25, and they've had a horrible bit of form lately. But they've drawn 14 games compared to our 7. They're obviously incredibly hard to beat, but they're not great at seeing out games, I suppose. I mean, they've won the second most of the league. I can't really talk shit about them. But yeah, we've still got no one in any of the top stats apart from Tommy Jackson having the second most clean sheets in the league. But I think we've just pretty much averaged a very good team all throughout the season. So we are going to be moving on now to probably the next game against Enfield Town, just because South Shields have got Chester next, I believe, yes. And obviously with their run of form, they've not won in 5 games. There's every chance that Chester will get something off them. And if they get something off them and we win our game, we're going to have breathing room with 2 games to spare. And I think the league should be pretty comfortable at that point. I mean, obviously South Shields are pretty much guaranteed a last day of the season win against Buxton. Buxton should be down by that point. They're only surviving by the off chance that they get an 18 goal difference swing in 3 victories. But if we could take down Enfield, we will be in a very good spot. I mean, Darlington, 21st, Warrington in 10th after that. So we'd only have to beat a team that's in the relegation zone. And, you know, they've got a lot to play for, but we are definitely the better side out of the 2 of us. So, yeah, let's go forward the 4 days to the Enfield match, and we will do that. And hopefully we can really consolidate our position at the top of the league. And here we go. It is game day. Enfield Town against Chelmsford Town. This is a big one. Right, what are we going to do? I don't think I'm going to stick with this formation just because, you know, it was a relatively safe formation to use against, you know, the worst team in the league. But I think we're going to switch back to our normal 4-3-3, despite just how creative we were in that last match. But I think we do want to play this a little bit safer, to be honest, and bring Wadham in as a ball-winning midfielder on defend. Hamblin and Tonadre. We'll put Birchall out on the right, and I'm going to bring Shiloh Waldo in on the wing. When he has played, he's been pretty good. You know, he's not been the best player on the pitch, but he's averaging a 7.52 for his last 5 games, although one of them includes a game 2 months ago. So he hasn't played a whole lot, but we're going to give him the opportunity here. Maybe have him as an inside forward, because Birchall is going to probably be going as an inverted winger just to get the ball into the box a little bit more. Do we go Yeboah up front, or do I maybe go with someone else? I think Yeboah's had a good few games lately. You know, a 7.5 and a 7.7 in the last 2 games. So I think we're going to go for it. I really hope I don't regret this decision. Who else do we want to bring in? We've got 2 strikers on the bench at the moment, so that's not really going to work out. Backwell's on a heavy workload, so we'll take him off. Maybe put Ratchford out there. Then we've got 2 centre mids. We haven't really got much wing cover other than Bates can obviously... Bates is covering both left back and left wing. But we don't really have many other options for those positions. So I think we might just go with this. And we'll just see how it works out. I'm thinking Birchall, inverted winger, is going to be cutting in more. Mazzala's moves the channels more. So they'll cover each other. Waldo's sort of playing this position. And so's Archer, which is a little bit worrying. But I think we'll be okay. We're sort of struggling for this spot, but that's not really too much of a worry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. This is a little bit scary, but let's go. Right, Enfield. I haven't really tracked Enfield much over the season, so I've got no idea how they're going to play. Enfield are 19th in the form table. We're second, to go and make this count. That works out. Okay, yeah, everyone apart from Birchall is massively motivated. Enfield are in a classic 4-4-2 formation. There we go. It feels like it's been a while since I've been able to say that. We are back in our standard 4-3-3. And let's get into the match. 711 players at the ground today. We don't care about the South Shields match just yet until we know what's going on in ours. And it's been a relatively quiet start to the game. They're having some chances, and we haven't had anything yet, which worries me. I'm going to switch to positive, just to try and create a little more. Maybe 20 minutes in, we haven't had a shot yet. Oh, okay, we've had 2 very quickly, and one of them was a relatively good chance, but apparently not good enough to show us. It's a little frustrating. Okay, now first highlight: a plain goal kick up towards Bridge. Jigginson picks it up centre mid, gets it to Marjoram. Lloyd gets the ball in. A Bridge can't get a shot off, and Jackson collects it comfortably. Thank God for that. How are South Shields doing? Oh, Chester are beating them. Oof, okay. This puts some real pressure on here. Okay, it just pops up in the bottom corner. There's been a goal at the Devon Stadium. Absolutely devastating for South Shields. Birchall out to Archer. Waldo has managed to break past the defence. Yeboah scored. Was that onside? I think it was. Yes, it was. Okay. Jesus, that pass scared me. I thought Waldo was just going to go forward and shoot himself. It's a lovely little pass from Archer there. Puts Waldo through. Oh yeah, Yeboah's actually behind the ball when it gets played. So that is beautiful. How does that leave the league table looking? A 5-point gap. That is brilliant. What's that? Oh no, Kingston are 2-0 up against Banbury. Chester are still 1-0. Their defender is actually called Harry Redknapp. Looks like we're coming to the end of the first half and there's been no more highlights at this point. Waldo has just received a booking, which is a little frustrating. But hopefully that won't impact us too much. They haven't had a single highlight other than that shot, which I think is this one here, that got collected relatively easily. Which that was a 0.3 XG drop. So that's not even half their XG, and we haven't seen a single other chance that they've created. It seems very strange. Things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. Well, let's get everyone on board. Birchall and Archer are not loving it particularly. Hopefully that doesn't impact us too much. And the second half's going relatively okay for us. If it stays like this, I am buzzing. South Shields just got a goal back. Yes, they have. Oh, that was the first half. I didn't even notice. Just noticed they're on 90 points. I've got Woolard, Innocent and Bridge. Ball comes in. Very whipped cross there, but it ends up coming out to Yeboah. Don't think he's got anyone ahead of him. He sort of needs to let Birchall or someone get a lead on him here. But okay, Morehouse puts it through to Birchall. He's streaming it through. Oh, and I thought that was looping past the goalkeeper, but the defender took all of the power off the shot. It just comfortably lands in his hands. South Shields have just missed a penalty. They've got Barbrook throwing. Marjoram. Sheridan. It's looking scary. He might get a shot up. Okay. I don't know if he did get a shot off there, because that was so bad I couldn't tell. 75th minute, and it's still 1-0 here and 1-1 at South Shields Chester. Just every time I see a goal update go in, like my heart skips a beat. Right, now we've got Waldo running onto this on the left wing. He's going to get this into Archer. Gets it into Morehouse. And he's blasted it in its top corner. Jack Morehouse consolidates our lead. That should surely guarantee us the 3 points here. That was a beautiful finish. You saw Waldo coming in. I saw Archer bursting forward. I knew it was coming to him. But as soon as Jack Morehouse gets the ball on the edge of the box, he just rockets it. He doesn't get in that position very often, but when he does, he never hits a shot that's going under 200 miles an hour. So we are definitely winning here, it feels like. South Shields are still 1-1. Do we want to make any changes just to sort of rest some legs a little bit? Archer was dead on his feet. Tanadre is also dead on his feet, but we've not really got anyone to cover him. But I'm going to bring Mitchell on just to play at that right back slot. For he's not brilliant at it, but he can sort of do it. And I think we're also going to bring on, Wadham. Wadham can move back to cover Gofford, because Gofford's also really struggling. And I'm going to bring Ratchford in to play the deep line playmaker role back here. Which, it's not fantastic. He's not really great at that position, but he's only going to do it for 5 minutes to a reasonable standard. Yeah, 4 minutes added on. No extra goals. That Kingsling-Banbury game has been absolutely crazy. An equaliser in the 92nd minute, and then Kingsling go and win it in the 93rd. But either way, oh no, I was going to say this game is just finished, but no, we've got one last highlight, and they've managed to get one back. We're a minute over the injury time limit, supposedly. So I'm going to assume that's not going to be too impactful. If it is, I'm going to cry. But a nice little header from Jenkinson there, and there you go. The full-time whistle goes. Birchall had a really bad game, actually. I didn't notice that at all. I was just looking at player condition at the end. But we have managed to secure the 3 points. We got what we came for, and we should be delighted with that. Everyone looks delighted. And yes, South Shields did end up drawing. They're not winning like 7 games at this point now. It's absolutely crazy. They've been so unstoppable the entire season. And they've absolutely just fallen to pieces. Grantham have been relegated. Kingsley and Scunthorpe and Radcliffe have all guaranteed themselves playoff places. There's actually such a crazy gap in between the playoffs and everyone else. 8-point gap. Radcliffe have got a game in hand, so it could be a 9-point gap, I suppose. Not really relevant. But yeah, we've got 2 games left, and we're 4 points clear at the top of the league. So I think we're going to leave that there for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, maybe leave a like or a comment down below. It really does help out a great deal, and it means a hell of a lot to me as well. We will be back at some point over the next 2 games to see this league out, hopefully. Or, if the next game doesn't go well, then it will be a very scary end to the season. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss what happens, and I'll see you next time.